Good morning student. Let us start our science class. Yes. In previous class we have just started a new chapter. In that we studied something about the metals. What is the heading of the chapter? Yes, that is a materials. In that we are going to study metals and non-metals. So in last class we have discussed about the properties of metals and non-metals. That is the physical properties of metals and non-metals. Just will recall what we have studied in last class. Yes, tell me now, what are the main properties of metals? Yes, they are in physical appearance. We can say that they are, by seeing the physical appearance, we can say they are very shiny. Upon that, it is very hard. They are the property like malleability. We can beaten into sheet. Ductility, drawn into different types, that is a thin wires. Yes, any other sonorous, they are making the ringing sound. Yes, any other properties? Yes, they can able to conduct heat and electricity. So metals are conducting heat, upon that electricity. Yes, any other points? Yes, so we have listed a number of points, that is the physical properties of metals. Now what about the physical properties of non-metals? Whether they are shiny? No, they are very dull. Not like metal it is. They are very dull. Upon that, they are not very hard. Okay, so it is, we can cut into we can cut that into, easily we can cut that. Upon that, they are not having the property like malleability, ductility. Upon that, they are very poor conductor of heat and electricity. Upon that, they are not giving any or else making any ringing sound. They are not sonorous. Yes. Now, tell me the examples of metals. Yes, silver, gold, iron, yes, sodium. Yes, any other metals? Yes, list out the different examples for metals. What about the non-metals? What are the non-metals? Or else give the example for non-metals. Yes, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon, phosphorus. There will be a number of non-metals. If you are going to see your periodic table, you will get a number of examples. If you have any periodic table, just go through that and you will collect and you will get number of examples. Just collect the example for metals and non-metals. Okay, so in last class we completed about the physical properties. Now we'll see the uses of metals and non-metals. Whether we are using metals in our daily life. Yes, where we are using the metals. Yes, so we know that we can get number of examples. So write down the heading. Today we are going to study about the uses of metals. Then we are going to study the uses of non-metal. First we will see the uses of metals. Yes, where we are using metals. Yes, we can see number of uses. Okay, here simple example I will say you students. See, I am using this metal as my jewelry. So ring, silver necklace, upon that gold necklace, all those things are the metals itself. So we are using in our daily life. Your mother, your sisters, upon that you are using what metals as our jewels. Okay, ornamental purpose we are using. Any other uses of metals? Yes, if you are going to see our utensil in our kitchen, the cooking utensil, almost all things we can see that is a metals like aluminium, or else mixed metal like steel, or else iron. Any iron utensil you can give the example? Yes, dosa pan, what we are getting. Yes, that is iron pan we are getting for that to make dosa. See, that is a utensil made by iron. See, these are the examples for different cooking utensils. Any other metals? Wherever you are using any other metals, if you are going to see machinery, the parts of the machine, making machinery, they will use the parts of the machine. Almost all the machine parts are metal itself. By using metal, they are made that one. Okay, any other? If you are going to see the automobiles, if you are going to see the any other electronic instruments, electronic gadgets, aeroplanes, trains, different part of train. The train itself, it is a, we can see it is a metal, we can feel it is a metal. Yes, upon that satellites, rockets, all those things. Any other industrial gadgets, instrumental musical gadgets, upon that cooking utensil we have discussed, water boiler. Any other? If you are going to see the window rods, not road, rods, see, that is also a we can see that is iron or else steel rods. So if you are going to see your bottle, if it is a drinking water, what the bottle if you are using, that is also a metallic steel box or else copper bottle you are using. Any other example can you give, other uses of these metals, wherever we are using the metals? Is there, we can get a number of examples. If you are going to collect the examples or else uses of metals, we will get a number of examples. So these are the some of the examples I have written. What are those? Yes, many I have said, no? What and all? Making machinery or else machine parts, aeroplane, automobiles, electronic gadgets, industrial gadgets, cooking utensils, jewelries, jewels, upon that all train or any other automobile parts. Okay, list out all those things and you have to add some other points to that one. Okay, totally you have to write number of points. Okay, next we'll see the uses of non-metals. Okay, now while we are discussing the uses of metals, we got number of points. Now just tell me the uses of non-metal, where we are using the non-metal. Do you know? Do you have any idea where we are using non-metals? Yes, see, one of the non-material that is non-metal, that is oxygen. So tell me, in our daily life whether we are using or else we are depending upon the oxygen. Yes, it is very essential to us, essential for our life, which all living beings inhale during breathing. Yes, that is a oxygen. So oxygen is very, very important, essential non-metal to us. Okay, otherwise we can't survive. So we are breathing that one non-metal, that is a oxygen. Any other uses you can say? Yes, upon that we can see in fertilizer. Do you know any fertilizer made by using non-metals? Yes, phosphorus as a fertilizer, nitrogen as a fertilizer. If you are going to see NPK, that is the name of the fertilizer, we can see here nitrogen and phosphorus is a non-metal, potassium is a metal. So NPK, in that N and P is a which one? Non-metal. So in non-metal, nitrogen and phosphorus is using as a fertilizer. Why we need fertilizer? To enhance the growth of plants. Yes, so we are using the fertilizer. So any other? Yes, we know about the water purification. In that what we are doing? Which metal, non-metal is using? That is a chlorine. Chlorine they are using in bleaching powder. Upon that any water purification in process they are using the chlorine is present in that one. So we are using that one to purify our waters. Okay, that is a chlorine is present in the water purifier, that is our bleaching powder. Is any other? Do you know any other? See, antiseptic. Some non-metals we are using as an antiseptic. Do you know what is antiseptics? Is why we are studying the microbial chapter. We come to know that what is antiseptic. to inhibit the growth, we are using such medicines. Okay, that is, which color? Do you know any antiseptic? Yes, we know iodine antiseptic, that is somewhat purple colored solution it is, we are using that one. See, where we are using? Yeah, to apply on wound. Okay, to clean the wound we are using antiseptic, iodine antiseptic, that is a purple colored one. Okay, so that is also a iodine as a non-metal here. Iodine is a non-metal, so the uses of iodine we come to know. Yes, next, any other uses? Recently we crossed the Diwali. In that we come to know that the crackers is very important, but this time we didn't use much because of this pandemic. So upon that, eco-friendly crackers we used. Yes, so do you know which metal or non-metal is present in that? Yes, non-metal is present in crackers, that is a sulfur. Okay, sulfur is present in crackers. So if you are going to see any cracker, we can see the sulfur as a raw material in that. So sulfur is a non-metal. So here we are using sulfur as a cracker. So that is the uses of sulfur. Any other? Disinfectants. We are getting number of disinfectants in that. There will be a what is non-metals. So can you give any other examples? So if you are getting more and more examples, you have to collect. See, these are the some of the example what we have discussed. So this one is the essential non-metal, that is the oxygen. Upon that, fertilizer we are using as a fertilizer, that is the nitrogen and phosphorus. Upon that, as a water purification we are using chlorine. It is there, chlorine is there in that, so we are using that in our daily life. So bleaching powder, etc. These are the water purifying method it is. So chlorine is present in that one. Upon that, antiseptic, that is a purple colored one, that is we are applying for the wound and all. Okay, that is the iodine as a non-metal present in that one. Upon that, crackers we are using for our entertainment. So that is which one? Sulfur is present in that one. Upon that, disinfectants, there will be a number of non-metals are present in that one. Okay, so list out more and more examples for which one? Uses of non-metals and metals. Okay, so we completed about the uses of metals and non-metals. In last class we have completed the physical properties. Next we will move to the chemical properties. Okay, chemical properties of metals and non-metals, both we are going to study. Okay, next we will see the chemical properties of metal as well as non-metal. First we will see the chemical properties of metals. So I will write here chemical properties of metals. First we will see this one, next we will move to that one. Okay, now tell me student, what is a chemical property? Physical property means we come to know what is that physical property we have discussed. Now tell me, what is a chemical property? What is mean by that? Chemical properties. Here the chemical properties means, here which one? Metal. Metal is reacting with any chemical it is. If it is water, if it is oxygen, if it is any other chemicals. Okay, so chemical properties means here metal is going to react with any other chemicals. Okay, so what we are getting and what will happen, so all those things we are going to study in this chemical properties. So come to know what is chemical property. So we will get the chemical reaction over there. So you are going to study in your higher classes more and more chemical properties. So next we'll see, in small extent we will see, okay, what are the different chemical properties for metals. So first one I will see the reaction with water, if any chemical it is. Okay, now one example will take reaction with water. What happens to the metals when it react with water? So what it is? metal is going to react with water. So I will take metal as a here. Okay, it is going to react with water. We know that the chemical formula of water, that is a H2O. Now A is a metal, it is reacting, so I put here plus mark. It is reacting with water. Now we have to get some product here. See, this is called as a reactant. Whatever we are writing this side, that is called as a reactant, and whatever we are getting the product, whatever we are getting the result, that is called as a product. Okay, so now metal is going to react with water. What will be the product? This is our question now. Okay, so first we'll see an activity. We'll do an activity. Clearly you have to observe and you have to tell me now, tell me after observation, you have to tell what it happens. Okay, now first thing I will take, see here, water in a beaker. This is a beaker, 100 ml beaker, water is there. Now see, this is what? Iron nail it is, you know. See, I am going to put these iron nail it is, I am going to put this into water. Observe carefully, what happened now. You can see any changes? You can see any changes? No change. No any change. Why? Because now iron is not going to react with water. Now we got the point here. Iron is not going to react with water. Now same thing, if I am going to keep for 1 or 2 weeks, it may react. This iron may get rust more. Okay, it indicate iron is very or else low reactive with water. It is very weakly reacting. It is not reacting very fast. Okay, so I am going to take this iron. Same thing I will add. I have a gold ring. So this gold ring I am going to put into this one. Whether you can see any observation? What happened? Any changes you can see? No any change. Why it is? Why? Same thing, the result is same. Now this gold ring is not going to react with this water. So gold is very less reactive, we can see. Less reactive. Next same thing I will do with my silver ring. See here, silver ring I have. Same thing I am going to do with this silver ring. I am going to, yes, what happened? Any changes? No any change. See what it indicates? No any change. What it indicates? See, this silver is also very less reactive. It is not going to react with this water. Come to know, no? So I will take this. Okay. Now tell me, student, what happens to this? A means here. Which one? Iron, silver, or else my gold. Yes. What happened now? This is reacting with water. We are not getting any result at now. We didn't see any observation. Now, one more experiment we are going to do now, student. One more activity. Here, same experiment or same activity we are going to conduct by using one more metal. Okay, that is sodium metal. Do you know what is sodium? What is the main speciality of this sodium? Yes, we have discussed in our last class. Sodium is very reactive metal. Sodium is very reactive metal if it is exposed to water, or else if it is getting any water, what it will do, we'll see in that experiment. Okay, so we'll start an experiment. You have to clearly, you have to observe, student. Then only we can see the after seeing the observation, or else after watching the observation, then only we can infer, or else we can conclude whether the sodium is a very reactive metal or not. Okay, just clearly you observe the video, the experiment what we are going to do. Okay, here we are going to take a piece of sodium. Now how can I cut that piece of small, how can I take a small piece of sodium? Whether I can cut by using knife? Yes, in last class we come to know that sodium is the exceptional metal. Other all metals are very hard. Sodium and potassium, it is a very soft metal. So we can use we can cut that by using knife. Okay. So other, if it is a which one it is? Yes, it is iron. So if you are going to see, if you are trying to cut, means it won't cut, because it is a very hard metal, we come to know in last class. So now I am saying about the metal itself, but that is a soft metal, that is sodium. Which is a formula, symbol of that one? Yes, capital letter N and small letter A, sodium. Now what happened? We are going to take this sodium, so we can cut that into a small piece by using knife. Okay, we are taking a small portion of this sodium and we are taking same beaker with water, and we are going to add this small piece of sodium to which one? Yes, so this one. Before that, we have to after seeing this experiment, after observing this experiment, you have to tell me now why they are not storing sodium in water. Okay, we'll see that. Okay, we'll take sodium. See, sodium is stored in kerosene. So what we are doing, we are going to take a small piece of sodium and we are going to cut it into small piece. We need only very small piece. Okay, so how soft it is, see, we can cut by using a knife. So we take this sodium and we'll add to water. What happens now? See the reactions, how fast it is going to react, how vigorously it is going to react. See, it is like running, right? See, yes. Now can you see any fumes coming from this? See, can you see any fumes? If you are going to observe closely, means we can see the fumes coming out. So we'll collect that fumes by using one test tube. See, yeah, I'm going to collect the fumes and this will show these fumes to a candle, burning candle. Okay, what happened to the flame now? Is flame goes off. It indicates there is the liberation of hydrogen. Solution is acidic or basic. We can do phenolphthalein test. Small drops of 1 or 2 drops of phenolphthalein. First we'll see phenolphthalein test. While adding phenolphthalein, it turns to pink color. Pink color indicates it is basic in nature. After watching the video, or as after watching the experiment, what you come to know? What is the observation? Is while when we are putting small piece of sodium to water, what happens? It turns fastly. See, vigorous reaction we come to know. We observed in our naked eye, there is a vigorous reaction with water with sodium. So what happened now? While we are seeing the iron or else silver or else gold ring, we didn't get any such a reaction. It is not going to react. So we come to know that those metals are not reactive with the water. Now if it is A, which one A? Na we are going to take, that is a sodium with water. What we got? We got something here, vigorous reaction. It indicates that sodium is reacted with water and it forms some other product. Do you know what is that product? That is called as sodium hydroxide. What is the formula? Sodium Na, hydroxide means OH. Okay, this is a chemical reaction. If you are going to balance this chemical reaction, we will get 2 and here 2, upon that here 2, here one more hydrogen we will get. Okay, do you know how it is balancing the chemical equations? Already we have studied in our lower class. Once again I will tell you student, here in reactant how many numbers of sodium or else how many number of hydrogen and oxygen is there? Same number of hydrogen, sodium and oxygen, it should be there in the product. So how many number here? Same number it should be here. So it is equal. Okay, always a number of sodium, hydrogen and oxygen. Sodium, hydrogen and oxygen, it should be equal in both the reactant and product. Okay, now we will see sodium 2 here, here also 2. Hydrogen 2 into 2, so 4 it is. How much here? 2, 4 it is. Now how many oxygen? Here 2 oxygen, here 2 oxygen. Now it is balanced chemical equation. So you are going to study that one more detailedly, you are going to study. Okay, just roughly I have said the idea how it is. Okay, what it is chemical equation means? It should be balanced chemical equation. Number of elements present in the reactant and or as atoms present in the reactant and product should be in the balanced form. Yes. So we come to know that now sodium reacted with water and it form a new product that is called as sodium hydroxide. Now where is that sodium hydroxide in our beaker? That we can see in our beaker. If you are going to touch that one sodium hydroxide, it will very slippery it is. It is very slippery. So we come to know that this is now sodium hydroxide. Then where is this H gas? H gas where it is? When it is reacting, we got some fumes, right? That is the hydrogen gas liberated. Okay, so that is about the reaction with this sodium. Now tell me student, whether we can store this sodium in water? No. Why? If you are going to store sodium in water, we won't get a sodium. It will be in after some time. If you are going to see that same place, same bottle, we can get sodium hydroxide. We won't get any sodium. So actually, why we are storing? For our study purpose, if you are going to store sodium is after 2 or 3 days. If you are going to see once again that one, we will get some other compound like sodium hydroxide. So there is no use of sodium, storing of sodium. So instead of water, they are using kerosene, okay, to store this sodium. Instead of water, we are using in laboratory, we are using which one? Kerosene. Okay, do you know kerosene? Yes, that is the oil, kerosene. Kerosene oil they are using to avoid the reaction with water, sodium with water. Okay, so we come to know that here this is water favorable. When it is getting water, it is going to react with water. Vigorously it is reacting with water. So same time when the reaction start, okay, we come to know that it is vigorously reacting, turning like this. If that time, if you are going to, or else after completing the reaction, if you are going to touch that beaker, we will feel little hot, okay, because it is liberating heat. When the sodium is reacting with water, it is going to liberate heat, okay. That time we can get that a hot feel. If you are going to touch that beaker, you will get hot feel, okay. So this is all about the reaction with sodium with water. So we come to know that some metals are reacting with water, some are not reacting with water. Okay, same experiment you can try, or else you can see the videos in internet. They are same experiment they are trying in potassium. What will happen in potassium? Just to predict soft metal it is, potassium also soft metal. So just to predict the chemical equation what we will get when it react with water. Okay, next see one example, simply one example we have written. If we will get number of examples like potassium, we will get other gold and all, it is not reacting. The same thing we will see in the non-metals. what will happen to the non-metal? Non-metals. Yes. Now name, tell me, or else give example for non-metal. Oxygen. Whether we can react oxygen with water? No, it is a gas. So it is very difficult to take that oxygen to your class. So we are not doing that experiment. Upon that, carbon. So these are very difficult one, carbon and all. If you are getting carbon, charcoal or anything, carbon, massi we are saying in Kannada. See, if you are getting that one, just put that into water and try it in your home. What is the observation you are getting, and write down, infer, conclude and write down in your observation book. That is your point book. Okay. Next, see some metals, non-metals like phosphorus. Other all non-metals are non-reacting with water, but this phosphorus is reacting with oxygen. Phosphorus, do you know what is the formula? See here, phosphorus reacting with oxygen means there will be a vigorous reaction like sodium with water. See here, it leads to, see it catch fire. So we can't do in the class. If you are getting chance, we'll do. See, phosphorus when it is reacting with water, it is very difficult to react with water in our class and all. Whether it is a gaseous form, which one oxygen means that is a gaseous form. So it is difficult to do in class. See, watch some videos in YouTube and all. Okay, so what happened? Phosphorus reacting with oxygen means, so it catch fire. So whether we can store phosphorus as it is in our environment or else in our atmosphere? No. Why? It may react or else it react with oxygen. So there is no use of storing like that. Always phosphorus is storing with water. So it is very less reactive with water. So we come to know that all the non-metals are less reacting with water. So phosphorus they are not going to store as it is, or else it is not opened in air. So they are using water to store this phosphorus. Okay, phosphorus is a non-metal. Okay, stored in what? Water. So it is very reactive non-metal. Sodium is a very reactive metal. Potassium is a very reactive metal. Phosphorus is a very reactive non-metal. Come to know, no? Yes. Okay. In next class we will study more chemical reactions. So only one we have studied in today's class, that is reaction with water. Okay. Next we will glance what we have studied in today's class. Yes, first we have discussed about the physical properties. Next we discussed the uses of metals. We come to know that without metal we can't survive nowadays, because everywhere we are using metal. If you are going to see any mission, all the parts of mission, most 90% of all mission parts are used by or is made by metals. Upon that, automobiles, all train, aeroplane, rockets, satellite, all those things with metals only. Upon that we know that the utensils, whatever the utensil we are getting in our kitchen, that is aluminium or else steel or else iron, all things, most utensils are made with metal. Some are there by using plastics, we have studied in synthetic fibers class. Okay. Next, any other uses? Yes. So if you are going to see window, rods, doors, all those things we can see. Upon that, jewels we have discussed. Yes, silver, gold, platinum, all those things we are see as a metals using in our ornamental purpose. Next, the non-metals, wherever we are using the non-metals is disinfectants, iodine, crackers, we said about the sulfur. Upon that, antiseptic iodine, disinfectants also there, crackers, that is sulfur. Upon that, what a water purification, bleaching powder, that is chlorine. Upon that, whatever the air what we are inhaling or else taking, or else breathing, that is a oxygen, that is also a non-metal. Fertilizer, nitrogen and phosphorus fertilizer we are using nowadays more and more. Okay, after that we discussed about the chemical properties. In that we come to know that how the reaction between the sodium and water, how fast it is, how vigorously it is reacting. Upon that, all the non-metals are non-reactive with water. So phosphorus is reacting vigorously with oxygen and it catches fire. So phosphorus is storing in water. Potassium stores by using kerosene. Okay, we have discussed the chemical reaction and what is a chemical reaction, the definition we come to know. Upon that, the balancing is very, very important. Okay, in next class we will discuss more chemical reactions. Okay, before that, write down the questions. Yes, first question, write the uses of metals and non-metals. Second question, write the balanced chemical equation of sodium with water. When the sodium is reacting with water, what will happen? You have to write the balanced chemical equation. Okay, one more question. Sodium is always stored by using kerosene. Why? Or else you have to give the scientific reason. Same as that, one more question. Phosphorus are stored in water. Why? There, potassium in kerosene, phosphorus in water. So you have to give the scientific reason. Thank you, students.